right. Emmanuel just solo I sent her at the wrong destination. I just fixed that and would they go back. All right, welcome again. Welcome, Emmanuel. So we are actually share the live now, me personal profile, and instead of the page,
The
so
page.
I nobody see the live now. The page, I'm confused. All right,
Oh,
guys,
sorry.
welcome to the show. It's the Max Tribune Salone Sports Show. The show's how to bring you all the latest information about sports, na salon, and the world as well. But inside the show today, we go look at issues them as Musa Tumbo don't making a return to Rangers inside. I don't know if we call it debut or whatever. But anyways,
Debut.
it gets in match yesterday. It gets into match actions as Rangers been draw 0-0 with Central Freetown Freetonian Slifer. Then draw goalless with Freetonian Slifer inside
Yeah.
Bo, and that's now the fourth team we don't stop Rangers for win this season because they don't get four draws inside the league. But anyways, also go bring you information on athletics as one of we co-host. The bill in time and all as they prepare for international games when at Dopeii. I know say a lot of people don't see the interviewer posts, but we'll play them back and discuss. And we also go look at salon players abroad as we see a lot of players them where they get playing time while others they prepare for get playing time, but some not they get at all as we they set ahead of the African Cup of Nations 2020 um 324
24.
preparation where they well they on the way as the FAB don't release press statement where they say the games them we go play South Home and we go play inside Morocco. We all know say na Guinea na be the arrangement initially, but that don't change. Now Morocco that could play now inside match. And we will also talk about the Sierra Leone Premier League. As we know, say matches them get for play today as well with big match then we go look into them but we see the match there yesterday as well we play we Babure Warriors been get victory, FC1 been get victory, and now only Boeing has been draw inside the match with them play. And the big one now that Port Authority been beat East Lions by one goal
It's the
to
Lions.
zero. That's
Yeah.
now be shocking defeat for the Lions fans. Them well, we don't know. And also, inside some of the matches that were today, we go see Mighty Blackpool. They play Freetown City Council na Parade Field, and we will also see FC Cologne they host Old Edwardians.
Family
inside
business.
Angola, inside Angola field. And also inside the Salone Premier League, we go see Cambo Eagles. They play against Diamond Stars inside the Eastern Derby. You know that the Eastern Region Derby. Diamond
Exactly.
Stars going away to Cambo Eagles in Kenema. Big match inside inside Kenema today. Anyways, that's now some of the matches that we go play today. And we will continue for bringing more information. Keep it locked as people that all the bid for buy Manchester United, the Qatari. Don't talk where one by the club. We see for interview from BBC Sky Sports go Sky for player and see how things they go, and also the British man saying himself one for buy. But all two the people that want buy the team now pure and applied fans of the club. Now people that don't they support the club as supporters and all. So that's not a problem. We go see we no one here again, Glazer out. All right, Emmanuel, I welcome you. Welcome to the show. Emmanuel, last week you missed out, so somebody text. He said now the beat. Was it on a bounce back? And another big one that Lions don't I go say
Coach
terminate the
Zappa.
coaching contract mutually
Yeah.
after mutual agreement. Finally, they don't hear the fans them cry and then do answer to them because the fans them first we don't see waiting they no like and say they want the coach out. But Lions management been come with a press statement where they say then they back the coach and give him more time. But it's like the time not enough for the coach for fix things as Lions continue for drop points and they struggle for challenge for the title. So they don't terminate in contract and Raymond Hunter, former anti-drugs FC striker coach now in done they in charge now until us then they search for a permanent replacement. But remember, say Hunter self na part of Zappa in technical team as now be the assistant coach. Emmanuel, I welcome you to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Magdalene. And to my viewers out there, and we viewers out there, say una question, una kaba, una ado. And it's always a pleasure to be part of the Max Tribune Sports every weekend.
Emmanuel, whose team you support today? In the Lions, the Edwards they play FC Chalon.
That's a family matter. But I
Mm-hmm.
always deal with FC Cologne. But whatever the result be at the end of the day, it's still a family result.
All right, to know you. Anyway, Central Parade also been win yesterday against Republicans.
Okay.
But Dopeii not there. But I will always start with as usual the Salon Premier League. Let's start with the big man Musa Tumbodo making a turn back to Rangers on loan from Al Ittihad in Libya. And yesterday, come inside the second half, it was electrifying as the fans they all been so happy for CM back. Then yeah, me welcoming applause. But what do you think about the return of the young man?
Thank you very much, Magdalene. And first and foremost, I want to congratulate the management of Bo Rangers, especially the CEO, Mr. Babadi, for short a good idea for comeback and give a second face or a second life in the sporting career of Musa. And because the way things been to go, it seems like Musa was in the fading part of his career in sports or in football. But for make you get a wise man like Mr. Babadi for swallow all the criticisms where you go through wrongfully concerning this young man and say, you know what, now act like a daddy and save this man because he's a talent, we all know. But the only thing that was wrong with him is about sports discipline. You see, and one thing for realize in life, Magdalene, the talent, it get time. You know, they last forever. Talent will fade out. So the term like always say they tell where I am one that they tell you they not can forget the proper shape where you want. Or now you dey forge am. As soon as it don't get cold, you know able get them to the forging shape or size where you want them. And these are the peak stage of Musa. If you're able to play better football or make anything out of football, this is not the time. Because in the next 3 to 4 years, he'll be off his time because we see the young generations the way then they click up to the game nowadays. So for me, Mr. Babadi, see that you know what, make us swallow all the bitterness I get for this young man and give him another chance in his life. Just as we can say this is a second chance in his career. And I just hope say it will make a quality use of the second chance of his career. Because if he miss this one now, it takes the grace of God, Magdalene. It really takes the grace of God. So I hope say and Musa go use this goal and opportunity because it's like going back to my roots, going back to the basics. Like of all waiting to happen, you know, Bo Rangers and say now we picking we bring a come back and make we build that quality where he gets, we want die out. And if Musa give people and the opportunity we know and help them well, then not only Bo Rangers go benefit from but the nations and then family them will benefit from the talents we got here. So I really appreciate that and I hope for see a good turnaround from her.
All right. That's a good one, Emmanuel, coming from you because some of we don't be fans of the young man and we know the kind cost the whole thought. But anyways, looking at him comeback and a lot of people question the timing that the window be done close and why he come and get for playing inside the first round of the league and all. And people will look at that if the Sierra Leone Premier League not get rules and regulation will govern that, or any player can just play or then give him a special preference because probably the Nations Cup qualification they come, they want to get some game time, so he will get ready because if you look at Musa, yes, arguably is one of our best striker. No disrespect to Ali Conte and that of Ali Conte and Josie or Bemba Kamara or even the leading goal scorer now at the league with 6 goals winner Abu Kome. But Musa in quality, everybody say, even yesterday we come inside for Bo Rangers, a lot of people seeing movement and now we can terrorize the Fritonians defense. At one point, in the match, the entire Fritonians team they push for go get goal. But when Musa come in, then get a static defense. The defense not be the grip for move again.
Yeah, and first and foremost, Magdalene, we all know say Musa na a threat up front. For make somebody go play, get an outstanding quality goals in the African Nations Cup, for perform locally, not to surprise for me. It's just about putting his attitude together because discipline for surpass whatever you do in sports. Then they take you to that height of excellence. And in terms of the Windows transfer, in every league we have what we call exceptional cases, Magdalene. And there are times like Villarreal be don't go through short exceptional clause, wherein they be suffer major blows with the midfielders there. So you can put an application through them, like for example the Sierra Leone Premier League board. You can write to them and say, well, this is what my team don't experience presently. We don't get major injury blows for about over 2 or 3 key midfielders or one area. Like if, for example, you get you number 6 them all gets injury. So it happen if they are going out like maybe for a year or almost 9 months, then you can put an application to the Premier League board and say this is what we are facing now. So waiting they happen, we want for replace these players. So there are times whereby they can tell you say, well, because of this way to happen, you dey go to your preliminary registration, right?
Okay.
So from your preliminary registration, any player where you be done drop, they can tell you say for make you include them in your final registration. That's
Yeah.
how some leagues thinking because mostly they can ask you for register up to 60 players for up to 60 players. So waiting can happen. Some players then can do on long term injuries even when they know they play. You even register. But at the end of the league, then they tell you, okay, cut and down. Maybe we need only 50 players or 45 players before the league starts. So you can, Sabina, you find a list. But when like short cases are occurring, it says, okay, go back to your preliminary entry. Whatever player you want for include back into the league, you can bring a name come up into the league. Or there are times they can give exceptional clause that, you know what, sign one or two players. They can give specific leagues then. They will tell you, say, okay, you can either sign within the league, or they will tell you, okay, you can sign from this region or this region, this league, within 24 or 48 hours. After which, that exceptional clause, then they withhold them back again. So maybe I don't know if Ball Rangers will do short thing, maybe preliminary then enter Musa in name, pending that they will be able to finalize a move for from in the Arab club where Ibn Day for camp play the Sierra Leone Premier League. Whilst Ibn Day pending, then they on talks for make it get a loan move. And whilst Ibn Day go, you know, say Ibn Day under health observation, whilst Ibn Day try for cover up all that. So we need to know whether some of these things and Bo Rangers been doing or not. Or an application and make through the Premier League board and then grant them an exemption. Say, okay, well, when I can at this point in time, when I can bring can this player because he may go through some health challenges, then when I can include at this point in time, one or two or no. So indeed, it can happen in football, Magdalene. So for me, I'm not surprised seeing Bo Rangers making good use of that exceptional clause.
All right, we'll continue with the show, but before we move on with more inside the show about the Salon Premier League, continue for share the live. We'll get we give away we will get soon the first one, but let me take this interview from I think it was the Easter Lions match where then beat them by 1 goal to 0, and Cleveland be scored the goal. One of the fantastic players and so far inside the league is so influential in the Port Authority side, and a player where don't they carry the Waterfront boys. If you not score, you go assist or you go charge out the game, you go put the game line back. He's so good in what he's doing at the moment. And let's just listen from the coach of Port Authority and what one frustrated Easter Lions fans we get for say after the match to the match Tribune team.
Bangura, head coach Port Authority.
Now we see when I get a winning against Easter Lions. Tell me, but the tactics we use.
I will say thanks to my supporters here, and I will say thanks to the able GM na Port Authority, and I will say thanks to the technical staff, and I will say thanks to the able team manager. I don't watch so many games about where Easter Lions they play. And that give me the opportunity for say a chance for know how to work against Eastern Lions. Eastern Lions, I can say always, even the way I don't hold on defeat them, so now a big club, I get high respect for them, and now the 3 points are important to me more.
Okay, this are results we expect. This are results we expect as a coach.
And the results we expect. I've been say give promise to the supporter of Port Authority and the GM and all the players there. I tell them say this one don't be giving to. I win 5 for 5. And I don't know. I tell God thank you for that.
Okay. So what do they expect? What do they expect from Port Authority in the next match?
The next match, I would say, not just a continuation. This is just reacting action for let people know how Port Authority don't develop. And when we started the league, it was so difficult. People don't talk so much different things about Sierra Leone. But God does make sure people don't see the reality. When I talk something, I do.
Samuel Smith and Mina supporters, dieted fans of Easter Lions.
Okay, since we don't follow Easter Lions, what do you make up of today's game?
Well, today's game is a big disappointment, to be honest. This is not our expectation. I don't know what's really happened with the boys them. Then they turn down with expectation. Lions not to pick this whole blande, but all of a sudden with the C7, that position will not really understand what's really happened with Easter Lions.
Okay, being a fan, what is a key message we're going to give to the players and the executive of Easter Lounge?
Well, my message, let me start with the players then. The players, they really get for redouble their efforts. Because the coach can do all what he can do technically, and come implement now what the coach tell you now that's a big problem. So we don't really know what's happen. The player they really get for redouble their efforts, put more effort, and say for they win more games. I think that will help we as fans, and we will be joyful and be happy with the players them. And so the technical, some form of motivation for they. I think like the previous years then, I remember the year we win the Premier, now with motivation, give them some incentive, let them happy. Maybe I don't know, that could be a motivating factors.
Okay.
But let we do well.
All right. That's all right. That's now waiting. The supporter of Lions being get for say winner Samuel Smith. Well, they talk to the technical team for let them play their young part in terms of motivating the boys and also the management. Well, the management don't take one decision for fire the coach. We will can't discuss about Coach Zappa in record so far in coaching in the Premier League. We don't see don't go na Diamond Stars, FCFC, even Cambo Eagles, but not that good run or whatever. But Emmanuel will come to that. Let we look at the Easter Lions situation now. Considering the fact that the team they struggle for they in the same level of the Blackpool, the Bow Rangers, because when the race starts, people will feel say it's gonna be like the Lions Bow Rangers team maybe happened last season as well.
Yes, Magdalene, and as if people they throw so much of passion and behind the league, and that's a waiting we all been done, they ask and pray to God for. This shows that Sierra Leoneans they really love soccer or football, and seeing the performance from Eastern Lions and the reaction from the supporters, it's natural in football. I'm not surprised about it. But one thing we then need for no realize is that there are times the plans do not dey go well. And if you know say in football, not only you the plan, the other team say for you they can't play, self the plan. And the league don't dey go to a form that the electronical aspect don't dey help plenty of we coaches them for make they able step up their games. For example, if you take a look of wetin Max Tribune Sport dey do now, they record some of the matches they did through the Facebook. So, for example, if me want play against FC Cologne, I just need for go and click and take one or three of the matches, sit down and watch which system that they play with. Then I can learn how to attack and counter attack them. So this electronic part very very important to Magdalene. And to the fans of Eastern Lions, and we get to realize that the league is not over until it is over. I know there are times we can run out of patience, but we get for allow there are times the signs for take in due interpretation. Because if you take a look at Eastern Lions present in Magdalene, they're in fifth position with 20 points. And Mighty Blackpool were the second, only leader by 5 points. So with a two games win, if Mighty Blackpool make a mistake, there's every tendency for them for come to the second and even challenge. The only thing now is that Bow Rangers the leader by 11 points, which is a big margin. For make Bow Rangers go lost like 4 games, it's really challenging. So I understand the aspect wherein the fans are really desperate because it's Lions. The fans are always demanding for more. So like when the boys cannot deliver more, they get for put out the voice, and which is good enough. And I sure say the management can listen, but there are times the barometers in the game get for allow them because there's a lot happening in behind the scene Magdalene than when we come into the pitch.
Okay. All right. Keep watching and sharing the live as well. And you can ask question inside the show, we'll go answer you. And tell you also which of the teams they support, and if you think say with the points where Bowen just dropped yesterday, it will be an advantage to Bowen just today facing Freetown City Football Club. But let me look at the result them, Emmanuel. As we talk about Lions and situation, now the coach don't go. We see yesterday being good for teams like Central Parade will beat Republicans. Babure Warriors also been get a win inside the Northern Region Derby against Wusum
Yeah.
Stars Napot Loco. And Bowen just been draw with Freetonian Slifer. Lambo FC being get for loss at home to FCU Wansing. But looking at all of this, Emmanuel, and how the league done they go, and the pace at which Bowen just done they move, playing 13 matches unbeaten, and just draw 4 matches, and also what do you think about the league so far and how the race for the title? It early for determine that now because we still get second rounds for play and first rounds for complete.
Yes, Magdalene. And I think the race really tight from my own perspective. Because I go really begin define who will be the winner of the league when we don't play 5 games in the second rounds. Then I will begin say, oh, and Bo Rangers go win this league. For now, I will tell you that the top four, Port Authority, Bible Warriors, Mighty Blackpool, Bo Rangers, even Eastern Lions and Diamond Stars are title contenders. The top six, because if you watch the point tally between them, it's very close. Because Eastern Lions the lead Diamond Star by 1 point. Port Authority the lead Eastern Lions by 1 point. Bible Warriors and Port Authorities are on the same points. So it's only a big gap between Mighty Blackpool with the lead by 4 points and Bo Rangers the lead Mighty Blackpool by something like 6. But remember Blackpool get for play, and when they play if they win, that's going to drop them up to 3 points. So you see they're still title contenders. So when the second phase of the league begin and teams that don't play their first 5 games, then we will see the difference. That this team here will take and now say they might likely win this game, this MN league, and that's when me I will begin point finger say Bo Rangers will win the league or we have Kalong will win. Who knows? Even we have Kalong might come and topple and be the league winner because we are still in the race, Magdalene. So we can for now for me the top 7 I can write anyone out of it. Anyone from the top 7 can win this league as for now.
All right, Emmanuel. Okay, what do you think about teams like Babure Warriors? Babure Warriors don't stay within the top 5 for a very long time now, and the fans are so happy. And the kind problem we will soon start they face Babure Warriors they face them at this moment because the Warriors they make sure say that they're home inside their home before you pull points and you go you go for player hard and they lost to Lions. Well, it's a scenario. Lions beat
Yeah.
them inside Port Loco, and Lions come back and lost to FCFC. But then again, Babuya Warriors bounce back and beat Musum Stars. Let people will say yes, Musum Stars their situation. Anybody can beat another and appoint donors. But what do you think about teams like Babuya Warriors? Their performance, the consistency, and all.
And Magdalene, I always tell you one of the qualities of them put local people and we not in team they're not a joke for. If that team they feel like them chief. If you tell the chief now one thing will happen. Because now that's are the when they bluff with it comes towards football at that region. So then they put in the all in all for make sure that they announce the name through sports. Because if you look from that region, the only sport we you able recognize it with from that point for now is football. You see, because if you take Loco and Lonsar, cycling also they do extremely well at the areas and they
Yeah,
but
Lone Star.
you cannot hear much from them except when football step in, they able recognize and reach on stand day. So I should say the community themselves they put hands in there that if not through this way also we go gain recognition, then we put effort in it. And then we announce we name that people they know say yes, we're existing within the map of Sierra Leone. And that is what they are doing. And from time immemorial, we always know say Magdalene that Babua Warriors, even when they're not been in the Premier League, then they play the division, they were a hard force to reckon with.
Yeah.
They are hard force to reckon. Most of the quality players are within that area, they always want for play and represent a region. So for me, this performance that I'm seeing now coming from them, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And to be sincere, Magdalene, let we watch out for the Warriors, and then they carry out the name. If they not win the league, you go see them in a very convenient position before this Premier League they end.
All right. That you make Golden Dragon fans that are jealous. That Golden Dragon na be a Premier League team. We been based na Mabroka. Then na be
Mabroka,
Mabroka
yeah,
them
yeah,
Premier League team. But since they
yeah.
relegate, ampo. I don't know what the Mabroka people they do because Potoko and McKinney they do well, Bo Kerema
Yeah,
they maintain. But also don't forget say Moyamba and others they try na the division side. And Moyamba they do
side.
very well in the female league. With Mobuyemo Queens or so.
Mabema
Yeah,
Queen.
yeah, they're doing fantastic. But again, now look at Yuansin. Yuansin are one of the teams that will start very slow in this league. Then start with draws, just like Camboegus, and then get inconsistency with maintaining them winning run. They can win today, tomorrow, then draw, but then very difficult for beat. Only thing, they need to score Boku goal and they're not a win game them fast. But they start slow. But looking at them getting a win against Lambo FC, another new face in the competition, Nalunge. What in this mean for the Yuans in technical team in terms of them performance so far? We get about four or five games more for around the first rounds because 13 matches played. So it's
Yeah,
left about four. It should be 17 matches each.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for Johansson Magdalene, because I see they don't play 13 matches and they don't win three, draw six, lost four. And it's a probability to tell you that then just need for fix some technical issues, especially when it comes to the third quarter in the game. Yeah, if you third quarter in the game not good, they can always take you into draws. So with short term and result that you see from the team, it means that they need for work on the third quarter. That is the Lawton finishing the ball. If Johansen able get a very good finisher, it means that they can win easily. So this will tell you that their defense can play, the midfield can play, but it's when they come to the third quarter of finishing the game. So whatever system they are using, they're not able get an attacker will be able to complement the system. So always if you talk with key coaches or technical coaches, and can always tell you that a good team they always play according to the strength of the attacker. You cannot play according to the strength of your defense. No, you therefore play according to the strength of your attack. Because when you know the strength of your attack, then that's how you're gonna build your defensive structure. That means you something will tell you say you score power, we save the score because we know the strength of we attack. We can even play on high lines. But if you know say your attack not that too swift and good, you can't play on high lines. You prefer you drop back and wait for the opportunity for play on the counters. So from this way Johansson to put up right now Magdalene, then just need one or two technical adjustments and you go see a difference in their games.
All right. Okay. One thing where people that they discuss now that the fact that probably they affect the midfield, where we see the Ghanaian will be left and go to
Yeah.
Lions. But again, a lot of people they say it's not that much of an impact to the Lions side as well. Because Lions also know they get the results where they want. So you think say that they affect you one seeing the swift flowing of attacking football because this particular player when Bekoye or what
Quick,
is Kwaku
quick.
Samuel
Kwaku
uh
Samuel,
yeah
yeah.
was a top-notch defensive, or a midfielder roving for Johansson last season, but moving to Easter Lions as well, we know they get much. So waiting, you think about this move and how it don't benefit the team we go and disadvantage to the other team we left.
And Magdalene, it's unfortunate. Like, and in subsequent program, I go find a way for put and observe both clips of FCH1 scene and that of Eastern Lions. Because I not go give you like a perfect analysis now, but in subsequent program I go watch the work rates and work outputs of Samuel in FCH1 scene and when he did in Eastern Lions. Because when he moved from FCH1 scene, for me, I can't say it's a cause of the downfall or of the midfield or the attacking strength of FC Chwansin, because they had a time frame for look for like a replacement. If so, when you get a replacement, even if you not get like 90% of but if you're able to get something like 75%, which as a league they go, they will step up to like 80 or 85% of waiting you want for play towards each game plan. So if you see Samuel move go to East Lions, yes, still East Lions are still struggling with the attacking trend. If you see, you listen to plenty supporters of East Lions, they will tell you they're not get number 9. If you not get number 9, it means that there is a problem with your midfield. Because Magdalene, there's a certain times when you get a very good midfielder, trust me, midfielders, if the number 9 not score, you number 8 or number 10 supposed for score. We see the like of when Barcelona been they use the RME, the 4-3-3. If Messi no score, Xavi go score, Iniesta go score. So when you get a score in midfield, it'll reduce the work pressure on the attacker, and also it creates an opening run easily for the attacker. The same thing may happen with Arsenal. They tend to become the invisible. They may get the likes of Robert Pires, where will score something like 16 goals every season or more. Now, if you take a look at Manchester United, I will put one player with me very impressed with, Bruno Fernandes. He's a scoring midfielder. You see, it help. If Rashford not able punch, Inke will start the punching. So some of these teams for start for work on midfielders that can score. For being a midfielder only for the destroy. Leave that for the number 6, but as a number 8, you for able to be now somebody with able to take that ball into the net. And as soon as you begin get that attribute, trust me, Magdalene, it make the work easy for the number 10 and the number 9 and the 11 and 7. Because when they don't tighten, so you can come and get a redemption and open the game for them easily. So that's what Johansson need now. They need for begin work on midfielders that can score. So they reduce more tension and pressure on the attackers.
All right. Okay, before we come to Coach Zappa and also look at the goal scoring tally in the league, if whether improve or not, because goals now one thing we don't be with issue even for Leon Stars, even for pro players them where they can come play. We will come to that, but let's listen to it in Rangers and Fritonia Slippers they be say yesterday after the match. Well, the pan SSL talk, but it look no used to the market better. Because say when ready, now they make you live. But when we get the mic yesterday, small, no one get trouble. The no one get trouble. No blame we listen well. We all listen to Musa Togo and Abubakar of Slifer.
The starting of the Sierra Leone Premier League. Others go say them they expect much from me when you come in the second half. At the end of the day, we're not able to score. This now result one they expect. Okay, and a striker like you don't represent the country in so many international competition. Playing the Sierra Leone Premier League since from when it starts, what would you expect from Musa Noah Kamara?
trophy.
Okay, so what's going to be message to the fans of Bo Rangers?
Actually, I don't want to tell the fans that see, you don't lose it. You still get more games. You don't want to tell the fans that this season we are going to get back again. The next game we play number 6
Okay, you happy for be the goalkeeper where able for make great saves. At the end of the day, Bo Rangers not able for score, and as well, Fritoni and Slipper not able for score. How you come about for succeeding to this?
First of all, I thank God for this great opportunity we give me today. For being back in our stadium, we go not. At least I appreciate and thank God thank you for this wonderful performance we have put on today. It's like we happened back against police. At least I do my best and try a lot for defend the team and defend against the opponent. And at least God give me 1 point for today match.
Okay, we see you will waste a lot of time into the 90 minutes. Like game plan this?
No, lots of the game plan. It's like when me they play football, I not depend for wasting any time because of the ball. I able to serve the ball, I able to kick this ball. I get a fast wingers, them way able to play a lot. So it's like just small things happen with me make I decide for kill the game. So I decide back because of the situation where we team there, everybody they down, like Bo Rangers, everybody they on top of the game. It's like then count ballers inside, count tomato inside, just for play up the year. So me no say that they play. So I decide for keep me best and keep the clean sheets back for the match.
All right, well, that's now it's in the goalkeeper Abubakar been get for say as he be able for keep clean sheet and come on above with 1 point where another tough ground for win as an away team. But Emmanuel, what you make up of waiting the two players them say Musa returned back into the league. The fans are happy for him. In fact, yesterday they been expecting for score goal, but the goal not become. He get a lot of chances that were wasted, but the goalkeeper Bakal not being waste no time or not be make no mistake. He focus and make sure say he help his side forget 1 point.
Yeah, Magdalene. And I want to start with the goalkeeper. You see, and football is all about statics. And whatever he did within the match for grant them a single point today with a counter as a gain. And match delay is also part of the game because the 19 minutes of plays for both teams. So whatever you do for Gil, now that 3 points or 1 point, you got to do it, Magdalene, because the game is meant of three probability to win, loss, or draw. But I can advise every team for go to win or draw because a loss is really a terrible form of run. So kudos to the goalkeeper, and I really appreciate shot boldness we put up that. He see the advantage of waiting Bo Rangers we don't get that they were very good in the aerial and they were all on top of them. So the best you could do at times is to slow the game down, kill them. And when teams and they in high momentum, when you they kill the game, it affects their aggression. So waiting the happen, then concentration also they drop. And when concentration they drop, waiting can happen like that. Most of the time, there's an urgency because these guys and they kill the game now. Let we hurry forget this goal. And doing that urgency, then I think you can make some mistakes. You can get some misplaced passes, and there are times some poor runs can take place. So it went well for the goalkeeper, and it's part of the game. It's part of their technical training and can tell them say you get to know when and how to kill the momentum of a game. And goalkeepers are one of the key people there. We can easily kill game momentum. So it's good, and because they get up to like 30 seconds with the ball. After which, if you're not playing, then the ref can give you 1 or 2 warning then before you issue to you the yellow cards. And for me, we own superstar Musa to man. It's good seeing for Siam back again, Magdalene, for come back to the mic. And I hope saying now when we see a line towards the mic, it will continue to be positive as it sounds so today. And although for me in body gesture not sound good, that now one thing we I notice because as the Musa we may blunt known as somebody we very agile when he can come towards the mic and the facial presentation. I see a Musa that is somehow very serious and sober. I hope say he will take this soberness and to another level, very positive for the nation. That when we listen back again to Musa Tumbo, we go to tell Yeri for say he don't score hat trick or he also the contender for the golden boots.
All right, maybe the facial expression and the body language gets for do the fact that he not be able to put any ball at the back of the net. But the big man don't start and he don't return. We go get for can talk about the importance of the watching our players and the goal scoring quality and all, and also about the Lions coach. But let we go first and take we first giveaway. When we come back, we will talk about that and also bring in interview for Michael Dopeii. A lot of people watch him, but some people they watch it live for the first time. Ibrahim, they said Dopeii Biona be athlete. Yes, he's an athlete and professional at that as well. Now athlete will win silver medals for Australia junior athletics team 6 years ago when he was a junior. He went into the Oceania Championship and he win 2 medals in 200 and 100 meters for Australia. So he's a professional. He's a professional. Let me take the first draw, and when we come back, we will talk about the stuff they were talking just now. Ibrahim will fit there for us. Satombo, so I go see final that they win. All right, 34 people enter for the first draw, and here we go. Hashtag Max Sports. Let's see who will be the winner tonight. Wow.
Hey, Kamara Mabinti, another lady.
Last
Wow.
year, woman win. Woman there.
Yeah.
Alfreda and Awana two now they win. So it's
Alfreda, is it Alfreda Winston? Or wait.
yeah, Alfreda Winston and Awana to Mzola they win last week. So then Kamara Mabinti Amid maybe na in boyfriend they use in name. It might be Amid Mabinti Kamara.
All right.
On a post where FIBA like Blackpool goalkeeper, I saw true.
I said no.
Yeah,
You get
Fatmata. Fatmata, yeah.
Fatmata, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we first winner for tonight now. Kamara Mabinti Amid. We team will contact you for your prize money, and then we will do another draw before we go. But quick while let we come back to the topic. Emmanuel, as we talk, mention the issue about goal scoring abilities in with strikers. Then, if you can look at the league, out of 13 matches played, some teams go play 13 today, but every team don't play 12 matches. We only get 6 goals for the top goal scorer, 4-4 for the one that they BNM, and some people get 3-2-1. What do you think about this development? Looking at the fact that Sierra Leone, we always on the struggle when it comes to goal scoring. In terms of scoring goals in front of the goal for execute the like lot 10.
And Magdalene, in terms of goal scoring, there are several parameters where we get for take into consideration. First and foremost, you have to take into consideration the quality of the pitch, and two, the abilities or environmental qualities we ascertain towards each match where we dey play. There are times you get for take into consideration where I can say the environmental attribute, the temperature at which some of the matches are being played. If most of the time if we dey play under hot weather, it can also tell on the performance of goal scoring. Also, if the wind flow or the wind direction during the time when some of the matches they also the play can also affect we scoring attributes, because the science of the game we get for take them into consideration. We not just get for say no more we ball and then go kick ball, because this ball it travel through space, and because it dey travel through and space, like there's also some forces that we can affect. It can cause deviation. So now if you observe most of the time, it can advisable that we play the game in something like in an oval arena, like something like in an arena, whereby there's a less distortion, wind distortion where it will take place. That can also help again with borders and forget quality move and flow of the ball. Then second thing we can look at again, the surface, the area where we borders and they play this football. Because at times the way you can position your body and when the ball is being later executed, in order to meet you in that position, it deviates. And so you get for give you like an extra time for change your body position and reaction. So by the time mostly when we can able to do that body change and reaction, we can all run out of time for make we get a good finishing of them ball landing. And another thing we can take into consideration is the food, because sportsman, no matter how you put a Magdalene, the best recovery medication are your food and rest. Nothing not the way they help sportsman like food and rest. So if most of we players are not able to get enough 8 hours of rest, that's another issue. And this rest they can calculate the number of the you sleep. And you sleep also if you meet good specialists, then you want for know how deep you sleep day. Because how deep you sleep day, that's so the body they will rest well and recover. Some people not able to get deep sleep. And if you're not able to get deep sleep, it's very difficult for make the body recover very quick. So if you sleep not deep, it is advisable that you able get a long hours of rest. So your recovery will be good. Some people the way they get deep sleep, 6 hours is enough for make them body recuperate again. So they can always able grow in and out of seasons. That's why most if you see with players when they go on injuries, then recovery, then come back can be very poor Magdalene because the food and the rest period not a match. And also waiting again can affect with players Magdalene. Food is very important. Match prep. And you know they eat any type of food where you want for go play intense match. If you go through dietitians then get recommendations within the give. Like me when like when me I want for like go train table tennis now, I get food when I had a day on now till I done my sessions before I dey return and can eat normal diets. So all that then they put us straight. If you want most of these professionals when they play tennis and the like, they go tell you say before me match now this are they done. Or even every morning before I go train, this particular food now they eat. Where I don't done this particular thing, where I don't done this session, I'd go I can on this particular meal. So you get meal style set for the week. So you're able to help your body recovering very easily and it give you and you get a balanced diet, Magdalene. We players they go see them going to put up an outstanding performance, we go lead to much more of goal scoring. But
All
if you
right.
watch most of with teams, Magdalene, it's not balanced because you not get a balanced players at the end of the day, the scoring area will be very poor.
Okay, so quick one to Coach Zappa in Sakwan. You think say the management of Lions na a proper decision then take or then just work or act upon the demands of the fans them knowing the fact that the fans them not be one the coach again, or it has to do with insufficient performance level. Looking at the teams, the previous teams that we don't coach, the Diamond Stars, the Cambo Eagles, and even the you know, Easter Lions recently, or FCFC.
And Magdalene, I think and this mutual consent of Coach Zappa leaving Eastern Lions, uh, from me on point of view, I think it's an hasty decision. Because if you take a look at waiting the happen now at the league, Eastern Lions are still title contenders, Magdalene. We for don't give this man more time. Give until the end of the first phase of the league. The man there which position? Eastern Lions is at fifth position with 20 points, Maggie. Who knows in the next 5 games he can win 5 for 5 and elevate the team
Exactly.
up there. Like Lamin Bangura. Yeah, who knows? Or he can win 8 for 8. Who knows? Look what in Ten Hag can do now Manchester United. He took them from bottom till up there because why? Then give them some time. And is new with Eastern Lions. So again for get time, need more time like for work around those boys and make you know which particular system they will suit each players the way he gets. The other time, Magdalene, I can tell you, say we if you will take a look at the Sierra Leone players alone, we not get a balanced team always. There are times you will see your right back can be very effective and your left back not can be effective. So as a coach, you get for find a way where you go no say if I play with this system, it goes shoot this type of players. If I play with this system, it goes shoot this type of players. And not so the way they happen automatically, Magdalene. That time. So most of these football games that we can see, all formations is a try and error. It's a try and error. You go work, you go use this system, you can if you work for you good, if you not work, you get for change. And every formation we use in football, it require the quality of the players. There are some certain systems where use if you not get that caliber of players and you can never succeed in them. So coaches and their time we think they are fair and they want to be very stubborn in a particular system when they not get that quality of players. So they can end up for be seen like failures. So now make if you know so you not get that quality of player for that particular system, you get for try forget a transformation, change quickly and work on something else. We will begin you some win or draws instead of you losing. So I think for me, Coach Zappa, therefore don't give him some amount of time, make you understudy the Eastern Lions team very well. Because plenty people they cry say Lions not get to number 9. But I tell you, if they can able to transform and make them midfield a square in midfield, then can able do better and win the league.
Yeah, I know say some Lions fans they will pocket it now because then they're happy now waiting to happen. But looking at Zappa and record with him previous teams, them like I said, Diamond Stars, Cambo Eagles, and FCFC was best known for draws. But you think saying that be the right man for take up the East Lions job or Lions self be just appoint him because now one time player for Lions and he part of the Lions family and all.
No, for me, Coach Zappa not to a mistake, Magdalene, for or like an hasty decision for make a takeover Eastern Lions. By virtue of in football career and waiting he don't do with the home based team, he was well knowledgeable for handle Eastern Lions. He was very capable because remember is it Cambo Eagles? He did extremely well with them there and build it up. So it all worked with other teams before stepping up into that position. I think waiting on favor and was time. Was time. So if we don't get more time like till the end of this first phase of the league, I think if I'm able to bring a better thing in Eastern Lions. There are times we supporters that we just want the win, win, win. But there are times patience is golden, Magdalene.
All right. Okay. Petros they say welcome you all to our weekly sports show edition. Please don't forget to participate and share the live. Alfreda they say I am glad to be here again. Welcome, Alfreda. Let's just look at few message and I go share the other hashtag for the next draw. This one they say thank you so much. My boyfriend share the link to me. Make me self play and love for listening to the program. All right,
We
thanks.
forget 50%, Magdalene.
They enjoy love. We don't get to
you.
the hide the face. If you not get money, hide the face. If you not get love, hide the face.
Hey.
All right. From Benson Kelly, say Mighty Blackpool, we must win the league. Yes, Una captain be optimistic last week when we interview him. I'm also surprised of Mr. Lions' letter of sacking of Coach Zappa. The problem is that which better coach are they going to appoint now? Well, let's wait and see. Hunter is with the team now. It's an irony because Hunter relegates with anti-drugs, but
Dogs.
it might be a different scenario. It might get luck with Eastern Lions. And remember, Hunter, now the coach went on there with anti-drugs from way back. it keep them in the league. Say what affect anti-drugs is was it finance or whatever, lack of enough resources for run the team, since our could die.
Our could die.
People
Yeah.
can come on board, but our Okowe getting team since he died, you not get that kind much financial backing for keep the team going. And then nobody gets money for contest with other clubs there for buy players. I think that also affect the team. Before we can go to Leon Stars and the match is already played today at the league, let we listen to one of the co-hosts now when a professional athlete, Michael Dopeii, as he finished second position inside the Wollongong weekly athletics series last Wednesday, and he won 10.7, and he developed in time for 100 meters as they prepare for return back to major international competitions then.
It was not what I expected, but it's okay. Still training. Under a new coach, so I'm still learning a lot in terms of the new model. I'm trying to adapt for this athletic season, and also with little injuries, I'm still trying to rehab. So I'm just trying to get as much races as I can before the season's over. Yeah, so it's okay.
So how the season so far? Looking at the other competitions you've been competing in the past few weeks.
Yeah, I've improved every run that I've run this year, so that is a big stepping stone. So I think we're just going to go back to the drawing board and see what we can fix. So I haven't done a lot of running, which I'm disappointed because I would love to do a lot of running this year, but because of injuries, I've only done a few meets in this season. I think this is probably my fifth or fourth run so far. So there's still a lot more in the tank. There's still a lot more to give. I think if I can just manage my injuries and be 100% healthy, it'll be a good season to come.
So what are your plans for the season, and what do you hope to achieve?
Well, just run fast. That's every athlete's dream, to run fast. So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, you just go back to training, you listen to the coach, you do the things that you need to do at home, at the gym, and then you just give it all on the track. Hopefully we can run fast this year and get ready for a big 2024, 2025 ahead of us.
Talking about 2024, 2025, listeners or viewers might want to know what's your plan. Is it Sierra Leone or Australia?
At this stage, look, I'm going from a motherland. I'm born and bred Sierra Leonean. I came here at the age of 10, so I'm really appreciated that I've got to represent Australia as a junior at the Oceania Championships under 20s. About 6 years ago, I got gold, silver in the 1 and 2. So now I feel like as a senior athlete, it's time to give back to my home country. So I would love to wear that green, white and blue and carry it on my back.
So you are an athlete that is more focusing on sprinting, particularly on 100 and 200 meters. What's your priority this season?
More than 100. The 200, I would say I try to run away from it, but my coach would probably make me do it just for endurance and training, just to see how it suits into the training regime. But my focus more is just the 100 meter and the 60. Unfortunately, in Australia, we don't really do a lot of 60 major champs. We probably have one for the whole year, but the 60 helps my 100. So I think this year I'm just focusing on the 100 and just trying to run my times down in every single competition that I do.
So what's your current time, and what do you plan to do in terms of cutting it down or improving before next year? Because in next year there will be the Olympics in Paris and also the African champs.
Yes, right now we're currently sitting on that 10.7, 10.6 range in terms of running, just because we still have a lot of niggles that we're trying to address as the season goes on. Our aim is to sit around that 10-4, 10-5 mark, get ready for the Olympics and African Champs. I'd love to go back home, obviously, and take on the boys in Sierra Leone. I think it would be a great challenge for me, and to see where I fit in if I get selected in the team, just to see where I am in terms of the selectors, so it doesn't disadvantage in terms of me training in a first world country and having all the facilities that I have. So it would be good to kind of go back home and do 1 or 2 meets in Sierra Leone and see what happens.
So there you've completed your mission on the track here at Wollongong. Where next?
Yeah, look, unfortunately the run wasn't great, but all the same, you learn from every single run that you do. From now, I think we probably have Brisbane Championships in March. I think it's from the 9th to the 10th in Brisbane. So we're going to Brisbane and doing the Brisbane Championships over there. It's a great track as well. Brisbane has phenomenal sprinting athletes over there, so it'll be a good challenge as well for me to go up there and run against one of the country's best. And then from there, we'll have the national championships in about 2 weeks, which will also be in Brisbane. So we'll probably go back there and run against also the best in the country.
All right, that's now Michael Dopeii, one of we tough co-host them today. Today, balance we. I don't know if not the Chelsea frustration, but anyway, for a balance for personal reason, which we respect. But if I be good, let Dopeii there. I see Dopeii don't get fans them pass me safe. I see Dopeii don't get fans them pass me now. Everybody Dopeii. Emmanuel, what do you think about Dopeii event where it take place? He actually run with injury because he be get banned in foot, and but he able for put when he also be get for because I filmed through the run in be one of the athletes that we grab late, but he able for come push and use some power for finish second.
Yeah, and thank you, Magdalene, once again. And for me, it's a good joy for seeing Michael Dopeii back at the track, because it's been a while where I don't follow this young man. And normally can watch when they can run at the Olympic Park every December. They can get this Olympic day where they can do athletics competition, the Olympic Park. But for the past 2 years, say COVID be upset most of the activities in there. And before the COVID, the last race when they do they develop another injury. So all this while Dopey been on the suffer major injury blows. So for make ASEAN back begin start for run and work on his strength, it's a good step. Although you see still the strapping body, it means that he still get a lot of recovery work for do.
And it
And
pain them, the Chelsea pain them.
easy Maggie.
They batter Chelsea for ball angle. Now don't be the pain them for rumpa.
I tell you, it seems like now they take the pain them for Chelsea. Yeah, but this young man is a well determined young man, Magdalene. He's a very hard worker. Only so I don't watch some of in training sessions. I remember there was one time along Olympic Park I go for go watch when and Dudu also been the trainer for run. I see and did the work very hard, and I'm not surprised from waiting at the CISO now. And it's a good call where he don't desire for go back and run for Sierra Leone. But he has a lot of work for do Maggie. Because for really cuts, because in time where he was 10.07, and the Australian number one, which is Sugan Browning, in Tokyo time was 10.01.
Mhm.
So that's the standard time now for Australia. So he has a lot of work for do. And for cut 3 seconds, Magdalene, not too small training. He has a lot for do for cut 3 seconds per you time run. It's a lot of work. So I just sometimes I can feel sorry for the body, the mind, the heart is willing, but the body is weak. Because when you want push, the knee hold you. Your hamstring, you pull hamstring, it'll take you backwards again. And at this pathway, don't reach now for 110.07. Maggie keep effective training and explosive competitions then. From now on till August or September, Ikebu push and down to 10 and begin one inside 9. And as soon as he begin one inside 9, Magdalene, trust me, he's gonna kill it when it comes towards the big stage. And also get for take note into consideration the wind direction at which he run.
Yeah, the wind, because
Yeah,
from the direction where one come, when I do the
yeah,
interview, we hear you from the interview, the wind itself,
the wind.
it is so
Yeah,
strong.
it is so
So
yeah.
so
So
it's
that's one of the key things that we can affect the timing. Because indeed, when I go they listen the interview, the wind was so strong. And lately, we know say we don't get harsh weather presently in Australia here. So I'm really impressed with my brother, and I hope say he will continue for do a good work. I also see
yeah,
a very slow when he dey come up from the rock,
yeah,
because he
yeah.
very slow from the block. So I need for work on that. And he's a very good chaser. And I don't know, I realize Magdalene, most of we Sierra Leone sprinters are very poor from the block. I don't know what's happen. The likes of
Because
Michaela, Rebecca, they're
because
very
when
poor
they
from
start
the
for
block.
run, na primary school, na
Yeah.
nursery, they no dey go na block. They say
Oh
kneel down
yes.
until your mark.
Exactly.
They dey only learn for use block. Yeah, it's fact. They
That's
dey only
true.
learn for use block where they can even where they dey run for clubs
That's
them.
true.
The block only they come into play when then they go into boxing this sport. Or where they
That's
get
true.
major international competition that they train for. So they're not
Yeah.
used to the block. So when most
Yeah.
of our athletes then I didn't keep begin for fail. By the time that they
Yeah.
grab the other one, they don't left. So it's time for the land picking, even if not school sports, red house, blue house, yellow house, green house. There's small block there for the land them for the user. Now so with man and they do they start from young. All before Dopeii that they run, all the event they will take place get picking them. Where they from 8 years old upwards, and every one of
Mm.
them picking that they use the block, they use all the equipment the way the senior athletes that they use on that day. Then I
Use.
one thing where I
You see.
see we're different from what we do in a salon. Even to the one the way they do the field event, the
Mm-hmm.
codes, the exact weight of the discus, the shot put, 9SF they use. So that they train them. The only thing that they cover the distance and their own distance is shorter, but they train
Yeah.
them for make even the javelin, everything is the same. Nothing different, but in Sierra Leone, we use block. Eh, Emmanuel, runners on your marks, then blow the whistle.
Yes.
Not even they use gun. Professionally, now the gun and the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Salon, Miss Elizabeth French.
Yeah.
Runners on your marks.
On your marks.
Where's the stats at the stomach? Where those are the athletes. Miss Fletcher, I not provoke you. I just dey talk the scenario. No
But
say
it's a
that
good
we
memory, Magdalene.
now make we pull Miss Fletcher na starting. We pull her na starting block. You know, be the start again. Na records. That them be
A
there now.
record.
Yeah, they take records and results. So that's how they be fit. All right, then we don't talk about Dopeii, and that was great. Last year, the other hashtag because now has this come for just the axe now the group they don't do the first draw, and we will continue with the show. Keep sharing the live and tell the party there for follow as well. Uh, let we take news about Salon players abroad, and when we come, we will look at the matches they were today at the Premier League and round up with some international stories. Uh, Emmanuel, Sierra Leone players already play abroad. Preparation now for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers in March against South Tome. Double header, home and away. That's not the particular match we will for pull with Trenkpa. Because say last year the matches all play not in favor we at all, the result them. So we need for pull with Trenkpa that 2 match day for get 6 points straight and add to whatever we don't get and go Tawana for the balance 2 match them. But the FADOM release a statement a few days ago say preparation day on course. And now say now in Guinea will be take us with home for play matches
Yeah.
them. But now in Morocco we go play South Tome. And also, yeah, the preparation day on course and we see a lot of things they be done. But what do you think first of all about moving the home matches from Guinea to Morocco? How you think say this go benefit Leon Stars in this campaign or in this qualification process?
And technically, I don't know waiting move around the two FAs there. And that also they need a better explanation for make them move we game come up from Guinea. Because and Magdalene in football we also know say the number 12 player in football, not the fans. As soon as you lost your number 12 player in football, you can tell on the boys in performance. And we playing at Guinea, it's very easy for we. Like you can travel from Salone for go Guinea 3 hours. You don't enter inside Guinea now. If you use a sea coach for go Guinea, it's 2 hours you are inside Guinea. So it's so cheaper for come off from Salone to Guinea than for come off from Salone to Morocco. So by us taking our match to Morocco, it means you're limiting the number of spectators for Sierra Leone on that particular day. But for us playing next door to Guinea, it's an added advantage for we players because we go able to get more spectators. And the Guineans also go rally around we Kampaka because we get heaps of Guineans, of Sierra Leoneans in Guinea. And you can even go Guinea the same day and return come back Sierra Leone after the match. Because the distance and the road network now, as I made for understand, is very good. And the sea coach maybe no good only because sea coach I made for understand the left Guinea at around 4 p.m. And in other cases, if them get proper arrangement, the sea coach can even run a net for come back to Sierra Leone. So he can even travel or land on sea after the game. Where for them be an added advantage for we darling Leone Star if we been play that game day na Guinea. But taking it down to Morocco for me, Magdalene, I think it's not an advantage on we own side technically because I remember that you been show the clip where in the FA been go look at waiting they happen at the Bull Stadium and CAF be need an approval. Then if we don't send our reports there by now, if we don't get an approval, so whether we go able to play we remain in matches at the Bull Stadium or not. So if them been give that approval there and play at that Bull Stadium, though the capacity is small for we crowd, it for me more better that we move in this match to Morocco. Trust me, Magdalene. There's also one thing about me where the people of Morocco are not too friendly. I will tell you this. I will talk at the media, Magdalene. The North Africans are not too friendly when it comes towards West Africans. Especially when you go to Canada for that Casablanca, Magdalene. The way they can talk to we West Africans, it's very, very bad. And the way they can treat we. So for me, I'm surprised when always we effort to take some of them games and they go to them countries and they you see. I prefer if I don't find one West African country, Liberia day. If we don't talk with Liberia, even Banjul for me better for play and day.
Yeah,
You
but
see.
one thing I realize is also South Home playing their own return leg match at the same inside the same Morocco. Probably might be the two FAs agree on that based on distance and all because I think there's get stadium banned. But like you mentioned, a lot of people look at the factor of getting fans for support the boys team and going to Morocco will limit that. But in terms of playing facility and pitches, you will get the best over there. That's for sure. So, and at one point, SLFA video announced that Morocco don't go into a partnership of all kind of stuff for support each other. Morocco gets a lot for offer back to Sierra Leone. So probably that's now one of the facilities the way they go enjoy. Uh, but Emmanuel, away from that, because we still get time for the preparation. A lot of people on the race concerned about not assembling the home base players them up to now. Looking at Liberia, don't do that. Other countries them don't assemble their home base players and for training. Although not to all them go with, but they will for cut down. But up to now, we coach no assemble the players them into a want from home base for training, and other people they say probably it has to do with the games, the way they play at the Premier League. It might maybe once for see them complete the first rounds before I call them, because one or two videos where I don't see them, they witness matches them around where we home base players and they play.
Yeah, and Magdalene, and as I can always say, and international duty preparation, you have 14 days maximum. From 14 days downwards, you can work on international teams. And we see we league on the get um, intense now that for make you go able get access to the home base players, it will be very, very challenging. So Coach Kista know wetin e dey do, and the FA also dey work towards that. And you know, say for put players them together every single day, Magdalena money. And we all know the economical challenge presently with the country they go into. Now the nation they run into election, national election. We get for we involve lots of fundings. So for make you bring can boys them in an early camp, Magdalene, you get for take care of their feeding, their allowances, which is them per diem, then the hotels, outside in the day, the medicals. Because as soon as you take them into early camping, everything now is being assumed by the government or the FA. So I just say John Kister the lookout say, well, make we allow maybe ladies first face year end, or maybe within 2 weeks before we tournament, then he able call all his squad together and start for make them begin play. Because if you take a look presently, all the leagues in the world play, none of them on breaks. So for make you able get any team right now into early camp is very challenging, Magdalene. Presently, if you take out Saiduba into early camp for Bo Rangers, it will affect Bo Rangers midfield. You see. And Ali Conte, you take her from FC Kano right now into camp, it will affect we attack. So for make we get a fair flow in the game, you just get for be with set a particular time frame that these are not kids anymore, they are professionals. I can do a 2 weeks preparation with them and take them up for my next match.
Yeah, so I don't know one WhatsApp group where arguments come on about giving chances to play. A lot of people they say, let the coach give chances to the home base players them based on them performance on the league. If he can pick the best out of the best, then he able for perform. Other people say no, therefore blend them. Other people say no, if for be professionals, and people say, but the professionals wouldn't come, they let it perform more than the home base, and the home base they wouldn't give them the chance. They definitely move from the stage where they expect them. So, Emmanuel, in this situation, what do you feel say? Um, Kista will get nine minor as a thought in terms of selecting the players the way he wants nine team. You think say giving more home base player than chance, like we see giving Musa Tomo the chance, he go score fantastic goal in the AFCON. We don't see some quality home base players them as well. We see Abu Dumbuya when at Diaby don't become one of the tough midfielders in the Premier League for Fritonia Sleepers. And in one of the players that will win many man of the match awards in this ongoing league. And one of the players that play people that be cry down the tail with them call them for Good Nations Cup. So with this kind of stuff, the the Saidu Bars, Chris Barry, these guys, the return of Musa Tumbo, Abu Kome, Ali Inzozi. What do you think about this pressure on the coach?
And Maggie, and I will tell you one thing that Able nowadays, I think the only team we been doing was the Chipolopolo of Zambia, where them use most of the time and the home base for play the African Nations Cup. I think they may end up for winner. Then the other one they may lose the final as it to Nigeria. And but nowadays football, you get forget a mixed flavor of the home base and the professional of those that are playing abroad. Because why you need that mixed flavor, Magdalene, it shows the scale or the level of your league. And there are things so we can always use in sports for measure the abilities of the players there by the ability of the leagues within the play, the standards of the leagues within the play. You can see somebody where they play the English Premier League, Magdalene. If you bring a can for play amongst people the way they play the Belgium league, you can always see a difference when they in the peak, Maggie. Sports practitioners and they don't put them barometers and they in place. You take somebody in a peak where they play the English Premier League, and you take somebody in peak where they play the Belgium Premier League. You can always see and see the English Premier League peak they on top that of the Belgium Premier League peak because of the standard of the league. And also you get to look at the quality of coaching and training, which some of these players and they get na them various European clubs they can never get it back home because they get dietitians in these various clubs. They know waiting and they eat and they know when for rest. They know waiting for do in intense season and out of effective seasons. But Magdalene back home, most of these players know they go to then regulations then routines and the only two way brothers and believe in is that they get the talent they can play football. So that's why if you observe most of the times they not can last long in the field, then they get fat, then they get tired so easily because the recovery method very poor. And the body building, the how for say the conditioning of the body is very poor. But when you dey play overseas, you get sports people wey dey able condition you for make you able play 100 minutes, play 90 minutes. Then they take all in data and they and work on it. And presently, if you watch the Engedens and data ban now, we all like even if you watch the NPL land or Australia, it's more that they're all under data ban. When they calculate you kilometers we you cover for each training sessions and each match. Then they tell you say this time that you work rate. But how many clubs in Sierra Leone presently get that data band where they record all the activities of them players there so in a day. You see. So that's why we need we brothers them from the international realm for come back up with we local brothers and then blend them two talents together. You get to see a difference when they come into the field of play.
Yeah, that's also Gilbert Macaulay. They say it should blend the players. I mean the I'm talking about the right players. All right, so I think here Emmanuel they are the same page. Quick while let we go through some of we players them abroad, how they fear on. All right. Mustafa Bundu being be part of the squad for Andorra FC, we win the Copa Catalonia. Then beat Badalona by 1 goal to 0 inside the grand final where we make the lift trophy. But presently, Andorra FC they play na the Spanish Segunda Division, and then they 17 na the table with 32 points out of 27 matches where they don't play. Well, so far so good for Mustafa Bundu in statistics so far now this season from 2022 to 2023. He don't play 17 matches. He gets 2 goals and 1 assist. He don't play for 573 minutes inside for Andorra FC na Spain. We other player we na left back Kevin Wright, the former Chelsea academy graduate player we passed to Chelsea, play for a lot of clubs inside Sweden and now the Scandinavia. Now they play for Auckland Roots na America na the USL Championship, the same league as Augustine Williams. Well, if you don't join Auckland and since then you don't make any appearance yet as in one of the promising number 3 then because obviously in one of the players that we kissed that on the call, though we not go preempt whether I go call him this time or not. But for now, he not make any appearance since he joined Auckland or as we all know, USL not started and then they on preseason for prepare for the league proper. Augustine Williams get a total appearance of 32 for Charleston Battery with 16 goals, 3 assists last season. Like I said, preparation they on for the league. And Augustine being get for score a goal inside one of them preseason matches where them play about a week ago. Then they prepare for the USL Championship where now the second league inside America where they under the MLS level as the MLS now the top grade and you get the USL when at the second league. Abu Bakar well I don't forget the player name Bakayoko gets 63 minutes of action inside Forest Green when at the new team when he don't join from Bolton Wanderers. Members say now one of the players them will be make a transfer inside the January window where he moved from Bolton Wanderers to Forest Green Rovers. And yesterday we get 63 minutes of action inside and 4-0 away defeat to Ipswich Town inside the English League One. Well, that's a big loss for them, but it's good that we get 63 minutes of action, and that will help for build in match confidence. Also, inside the players that were abroad, Sule Kaikai enjoy full 90 minutes of action in Milton Keynes, then 5-2 away defeat to Sheffield Wednesday inside the English League. Well, Sule also be make a move. He be come out from Wycombe Wanderers and move to MK Dons. Now the same league level, but yesterday they be trashed them 5-2 inside the league. And Insef been don't get a good time as a week ago. He been get for score goal inside one of the match where they be play. He be provide a goal, but yesterday now be a bad market for MK Dons as they be get for take 5 na them bag. Idris Kanu, where also na Sierra Leonean, they play for Barnet, been there in action for the team as they lost 2-1 away to Tokyo United na the English National League. Well, it was a bad day for Sierra Leonean players yesterday in England. Most of the team they lost. Well, that for Idris Kanu, na a striker, a forward, means they have not possible can score goals, but it done the out of the score sheet for a very long time now. John Roberts was also in action for Preston Lions inside and 2-1 home defeat to Pasco Vale SC in the Victoria NPL 2. John Robert na a Sierra Leonean player where they play na the National Premier League 2 inside Australia yeah, for na the Victoria State that na the Melbourne end. And yesterday, 2 days ago, I think they play on Friday or so, they began for
Yeah.
loss at home. And also we get John Kamara, if they don't make a move to Igalio, na Greece, and a Greek team where he don't join, but he not get no minutes yet inside that one day because he not get any action it for the side where he be don't join. Stephen Coker coming as a substitute than the captain. He coming as a substitute in Wigan Athletic, then 0-0 draw with Norwich City inside the English Championship. Well, he don't play 4 matches so far since he joined the club now the championship, and he don't play for 251 minutes. Finally, so far so good. Usman Kake gets so far 18 matches we don't play and 983 minutes for QPR. He enjoyed 90 minutes of action inside QPR and 3-1 away defeat to Middlesbrough in the English Championship. Well, that's not some of what to get. Alex Bangura and team they play today where now Kumbo FC and they're not played on it, so they work out any results or whatever. But instead they do well as they be don't get the captain ban, now they steer the ship, and a lot of players them there. We get Umo Samura where they play in Cambodia. We get players that we play in the Scandinavia. We get Alaji Kamara. If we don't return to action for Randers FC, and few days ago the SFB play. They began for score a brace in that particular match. We now be friendly match. They prepare for the season itself. So far, so good, Emmanuel. Now, some of the update they never able to players them as they prepare for Leon Star Prop. I know these are similar names. We know they say that then the coach get for call, but these are the names where we can see now Kista in list.
Yeah, and thank you, Magdalene, for shorter time. We'd always take for good school. What has within the play the various leagues them overseas. And people will think saying a easy tax, but it takes real sacrifice for go to all in details there. And the names there where you don't mention, Magdalene, to be sincere, then don't be consistent in the Sierra Leone national team.
Except for John Robert.
John
I
Robert.
knew that he
Yeah,
played in Australia.
yeah. And also, lest we forget again, and Hassan Chalo also don't move into the Iceland Premier Division.
Okay.
Yes, he also they play the first division now. They play the Iceland Premier League, and last week then get a 3-0 win of which he gets a good time run. He's also there for play this week here, so I don't know like was he yesterday and not be able to follow up on in games. He also did do extremely well in the Iceland League, so it's another name also for begin watch out for towards that way attacking trend because in last week game it was really really good for him. And get I think it was a 3-0 win, and I see impact where he make. Although he not be able to get a goal at the end of that match, but in contribution was very good in that game.
All
And
right.
most of these names that we don't call them Magdalene are names we would always see they come up most of the times in this national team. And most of these names are names we're not able to take we it to the level of expectations where we get for we team. But normally, I can ask myself, is it that we players are not too good on na the technical team we not get for manage within we get.
Oh, now the
You
level of the
see,
league, the standard of the league there where
the
they
leagues
play.
and where they play. You see, so that now another key points where we need for take into consideration. But it's only if you ask yourself them questions, and then we can see, and Zambia took a home-based team and make a difference.
Yeah.
So what is the question that
Yeah,
what is the problem
and
surrounding?
also quick one as to the see
See,
Kwame on the screen now. Kwame been don't get a mutual agreement within team where they be don't part
Shanghai,
ways. Yeah, the team where they play for um Israel. They don't part.
Israel.
Yeah, they don't part ways. So hopefully they look for new club or agent. They look for new club for him. And now one influential player in the Leonster squad. We can always play that midfield or na the wings for we. So we dey hope for him all the best. And another player where don't they do well in the own way na this Tijan Brahma where they play na the Gibraltar National League and they play for Lynx Football Club. So you get a lot of players, but he left with the coach. But one point where I mentioned, Emmanuel, now with defense. A lot of fish would happen now defense since the Umo Zengele Bangwa the era end. Another player again where we never forget, though a lot of people will mention age and all, but experience counts. Now David Simboy, they play now the IPL,
Yeah,
the IP League, where now the Indian League.
not Indian
And
League.
they
Yeah,
don't be
yeah,
consistent in the play, they
yeah.
get game time. Important for the player get game time. It's not about scoring goals at times, it's game time. How many game time in the game minutes? So he's playing. But since Zengele left with defense, we see we get a waterlog. We defend, they concede a lot in the past matches that we don't play.
Yeah, and Magdalene, in terms of the Sierra Leone national team list, you know, that team we a very technical for build. I can tell anybody that for call that 26-man squad, that way can be very challenging for coaches because now a technical team they make the conclude on the selection. You can sometimes put as a coach, you can sometimes put a suggestion that and this na me squad where I want. Then you get some one or two at times interference we can come into your squad selection. So no, we need privilege for this player, this player, this player. So first and foremost, I think we need to get a national team wherein the head coach or the technical team forget a full flow, Magdalene. Let them give them now a full flow, a full right. Say, okay. And now give it the players the way you want. let we find way and bring them come. Then you fail the nation now, we know say yes, you are accountable. But most of the time, Magdalene, I will tell you, most of these players, if you go behind the scene and go tell you, see, there's a lot of interference we can make some of them players when they play in the national team, they played it, and which is wrong. So that's why we need for accept that as a nation that let we dey give people in the free hands of the positions that we will give them. Then when them fail, we will totally begin only accountable and then we will accept the mistakes or the errors that we then make during the tenure of service. For the defense side, indeed, Magdalene, Salondo, I will tell you one thing, Magdalene. Salondo always struggle when it comes towards defense because it's not easy for make Salon play we not conceive a goal. It's real. If we not conceive, we go almost draw. But the table we get it, the likes of Kewule Conte, Pasafa, Magdalene, we still a conceive. So for me, to be sincere, the table me begin watch Salon national team, we never get a very good defense and midfield.
Yeah, another one quick one is Rodney Michael also Bido make a move into a new club where he dey play for now. And is it Moldova or so? But now that the club they play for that club there, some team back. And we wish all the best. I think he don't get in debut already few days ago. So the players them plenty. This guy where they show on the screen, now another player, we get a lot. But Uda for Pia with Steven now that defend, now that we don't be the issue. They don't try David, they don't try different players them, but we still they get issue with you know keeping clean sheet and ensuring we not concede a goal at all.
Well, me, I think for the moment, Magdalene, you use up a very good name. And by virtue of the experience we don't get with the national team and internationally, I think we need for bring come back David Simbu and pair up with Coca and see which thing will be we next outcome. Like call some of them players and the end, pair them up, Magdalene, before them go into the national into the game against Sao Tome. You can get a friendly match and you can see the work rate of some of them players there. So from the work rate and then chemistry, you can able know that no, Simbo or Coca cannot play together. Or maybe waiting they happen, okay, I can drop Simbo. Who next I need for pair with Coca? Can I use one of the home base? You see, maybe you can use one professional and one home base
Yeah,
in
and
the defense.
Isheka for Bo Rangers has been exceptional. And they play fantastic football. But aside Ishek, you get lots of other home based players them as well where they do good job in the defensive area.
And you also get this young boy we been doing at Bellamy Academy. Why young boy been in a Bellamy? I think he's under Mighty Blackpool now. He also they play extremely well.
You talking about Santos?
Something is it Santos? Again, I been follow some of in games there, but investor I know that he went to the Kid Bellamy Academy. Now they play the Sierra Leone Premier League. He's doing outstanding well. I see them even give him a man of the match lately in certificate. I was like, wow, that's great. Some of these youngsters, Magdalene, if you give them the opportunity, then go on for prove themselves. Look like what like Said Dubai is doing. The young man now is then get an opportunity within the national team, see how he dey try for push and showcase in talent. So there are times in nice again for make we mix some of this we home base and the professionals thing. Give them a trial match and see. And if they're not able to work well from their friendly matches, then you can say, okay, make a result for use two professionals in the defense that can able chemist can play together. Because
Okay.
playing 4 and 5 Magdalene, it's a line of communication. You see, if you not get Uda na the sweeper, it's a very big problem. So one forbid away the chase, one forbid away the sweep. If the neighbor get that communication between them, Magdalene, never. You been see when PK when Piol and Piqué were playing together, or even when Piol and Marquez were playing together, one made the sweep and one made the chase. So if you get that type of communications in there, you always get a very good friend five.
Okay. All right. So Emmanuel, I just go check back. Rodney in team na FK Monaba inside the Montenegro First Division, and the player they look forward for, get a good time in the competition or the league itself, so at least he go able for developing himself well ahead of whatever go happen with Leon Star or whatever big contract and all come for Europe. Remember saying himself na a graduate of the Bellamy Academy. I say the academy born and all, but I did try for the investigation. They don't left the academy say, even when lock, nobody able for take them up and do something for bring other boys them come. But anyways, with the Congo now, we go do withdraw. Then, but before the draw, quick one inside the matches that we get for play today, we see FC Calon go get for host all Edwardians, and thanks to Coach Lamin of SLFA for these statistics. Well, the two sides so far their league position, Calon the 7th and all Edwardians the 13th, and you get the win rate FC Calon 4, all Edwardians 3, and you get draw. They also don't draw 5 matches. Goals scored FC Calon 16, Edwards 6, and goals conceded FC Calon 13, Edwards 5. Really, FC Calon don't concede more goals than Edwards, but score more than Edwards as well. So that's not their own statistics. Emmanuel, quick one. What do you think about that match? Everything will be your prediction.
And as Sierra Leone say, it get for be a family match. So whatsoever the 90 minutes give we go accept her. But all the way from FC Calon.
All right. That's not a problem. Not so possible. All right, another match for watch out today. Now, Mighty Blackpool as they go play Freetown City. Well, where they play the landlord now for be careful. Because Blackpool, they go pull and train call. They know say Rangers don't draw. And a win for them today go short in the points. The
Difference of 3.
difference of so that will be a good one for them. But then they play Freetown City. Let's look at the statistics. So far, so good. Mighty Blackpool, they second in the league. Freetown City, they 11, and their win rate. Mighty Blackpool, they win 12 matches. Is it 12 matches won? And that's what they're saying here. I think this gets issue. 12 matches won. Because Blackpool don't lost to FC Calon. They don't play 12 today for being 13 match. And they be also draw with Babue Warriors. So
no, I think sorry, Magda, the win against Freetown City Council almost 10 and don't beat Freetown City.
Okay.
But they don't beat them 12 times.
12
Council will win 4 times.
The draw so far 7-3 and goal scored 19-6 and 8-8. The goal conceded. So Oman don't concede that one. So what did I take for this particular one?
Yeah, we as you earlier on see the tenant versus the landlord. But this tenant back now, all tenant so you don't say. So not to tenant you go able get easy notice. So if not, you go na land and then court go able get some injunctions say this before you get a notice, you get for get some 6 month free rental. So but I know Mighty Blackpool as you mentioned earlier on are gonna come very hard into this match because the Sisters boys are people and we as I can always say, you not forget them a loophole they can take the advantage. And this to go from Bo Rangers. If Blackpool win this match, an added advantage for them in terms of winning the Sierra Leone Premier League. So I'm not saying Mighty Blackpool are going to come into this game with high intensity and with respect for Freetown City Council because Council can also a very good team. We can
They beat Lions too now.
we can make a great difference in the league in terms of they sabi play big matches. Mostly when Council they play against the big teams and then they also show that then and landlord that they get free top. So we
Then
get for
then get
Guinea that they don't
Putu,
expect.
they get Putu Edward what's him? Edward Tula Putu. That bobole
Too.
that is like all
So
right,
yeah,
so
so
the Eastern Region Derby, Cambo Eagles played host to Diamond Stars, and the Diamond Boys will be traveling to Kenneh for play the Eagles. So, quick one statistic between two sides. League position 16 position for Cambo Eagles. That's so bad, the lowest in the last few years for them. And Diamond Stars, they're sixth at the table. Win rate, Cambo Eagles just gets one, Diamond Stars five, draw 7 and 4, goals scored 6 as against 12, and goal considered 10 against 7. So I'm going into this match with Cambo Eagles then current record of drawing. The only match where they don't win na against Husum Stars. What do you make up of this match? Everything will be your prediction. You want to sit on the fence or what?
and to be sincere, I think for me this is one of the match of the week again of the weekend. Sorry, because this I can call them. We get and Kenneh and Konneh. Then and these are the two cases where they always can get comparison between the whole two. Because I remember in the early stages, the way they think about the money man, they can say they Konneh and Kenneh, the chiefs or the diamond dealers there. So always at then sectors and then at that country, they can look and fend them. So Kenneh and Konneh can always get a very good match and clash when they can meet up in terms of football. The argument can intense between the big guns there. But we see that Monsters also they go come up with an outstanding run as Cambo Eagles are still struggling in their form. But I hope so the 90 minutes will show amongst these tenors who is who. So I will sit on the fence, Magdalene, and wait for waiting will happen out of the 90 minutes.
Emmanuel, if defense broke with you now, I will go massage you. All
Now I
right.
go jump.
Yeah, as we can go now, we take we last draw and then we say bye bye for today.
Wow. Magdalene in the happen.
Tomorrow something that happen, they bang the man, they may not win. Hey, Papa Godfather. Since Matu and second time in the win, so if I correct. Congratulations. We get 2 man last week and 2 man this week again. Dimitrios Nani for do something where is not right. I don't know. Now the person will provide the giveaway because I've read
Yeah.
nine sponsor this giveaway, and ever since I've read sponsor, a woman they no more they win.
That guy, Alfred need for explain something.
I've read it. You know, I be like Alpha in sponsorship. I like you
Yeah.
sponsorship. Even me, I be like her because it been balanced. But ever
Gender
since I've put,
parity. Mm.
oh
Mm.
my god, it's all right.
Mm.
Maybe next week the guys then go overtake. Santos has been one of the most outstanding defender in the Sierra Leone Premier League, but sentiment would allow him to be in the national team. All right, I'm not gonna talk the last one. We talk loud, the taker is the small.
Yeah.
All right then, Emmanuel, as we dey go now, we see Manchester United. Well, you get two people who they fit for takeover now, the Qatari and the British man. You know, Arsenal fan, I know you no go like follow get boku money like Man City for disturb una. But wetin na you take on this quick one as they go, and also una don't take over the top again na the league. As after we will be glad small like Man City disappointed. Let's talk.
And to be sincere, I mean, one person, Magdalene, the trend at which football they go right now are really the afraid.
Solical has joined us.
The oil money presently, if they continue for pro and so into football, I think football will end up for damage. There should be a spending gap. If there are no regulations for maintain that spending gap, Magdalene, we will lose the momentum of football in years to come.
Okay.
So I expect the people, their passions and everything, but let there be a gap, let there be regulation that we will be able to enjoy the game here where we like and we call football. And for we Arsenal, I say congratulations again, and for an interesting match last night against, I would say night doing for them in Sierra Leone, it will be daytime, and against Aston Villa. For me, I be really no see that will not go for be an easy match because Unai Emery like tactician and he don't handle Arsenal. From the left, you go Villarreal, he play against Arsenal, he take way out of the between at the Europa. So I be always know see get for be a tough match when it comes to us playing against Unai Emery. And you get some all other troublemakers inside the Aston Villa teams, the likes of Douglas Lewis, and you get the likes of the Bailey and even Contino and these Watkins. These are all troublemakers. Where at any time of that clock they can able put that ball behind the net, and it was a good game. And to be sincere, I think we Arsenal we played well, but and we were very lucky in the 90 minutes plus added time. And we appreciate the 3 point because that was what we wanted. But I think the boys are really need for step up their games. And even the coach gets a lot for the Magdalene. The way Arsenal play, it shows that Arsenal need a prolific number 9. The job is too big for Nkesha.
That place it don't pass now and in January except when I do the Musa Trumbo tactics. All right. So they go now. We have to say bye bye. But team news for Leicester and Manchester. Manchester United make 5 changes to the side that drew 2-2 at Barcelona on Thursday. Lisandro Martinez and Marcel Sabitzer return from suspension in midweek, while Victor Lindelof also gets a rear start. Diego Dalot and Alejandro Garnacho are in too. Casemiro served the last of the domestic ban, while Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Malaysia, and Jordan Sancho also drop out. So the 11 so far, De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, Shaw, Sabitzer, Fred, Fernandez, Weghorst, and Garnacho and Rashford. Now
Garnacho.
them go start. And on Leicester side, Leicester are on change for their impressive 4-1 victory over Tottenham last Saturday. The informed James Maddison is fit to start and captain the side. Leicester 11, Ward, Casterday. You get the Australian scouter Fizz and Christensen, Mendy, all Tete and Madison, Barnes and Ananacho. So that's for the big match. And Leicester, the kind of firepower last week what they use. We need to make more too much, but we know so we'll go beat them. All right, Emmanuel. Well, they say bye bye for this week. We will join we be them next week. But always stay glued to the page as we get more news for bring you every weekend. Congratulations to Kamara Mabinti Hamid and Sise Ramatwell. Tell your boyfriend thank you because I share the page to you. We subscribe for a small thing. We Petros calling. All right, Emmanuel, everything will be round up message and then we go say bye bye for this week.
And to my viewers, the viewers out there, I want to say when I continue for like and subscribe to the Max Tribune Sport as we strive every week for bring to another show and keep on updated about news within and out of Sierra Leone concerning sports. And the final message to go to all the football loving fans, that we use this time for remember we African brother Atsu will be lost. It's a sad story. It's a sad story, but I pray that the families in Europe and in Africa find solace. When yesterday Magdalene, I feel pain like when I see the wife and the peking, they watch Newcastle game against Liverpool. I was like, this is hard. It's hard, but
Yeah.
we will use this moment for pay we own condolence and we ask that God could find way and comfort the wife and the bikini and the families them back home. Till then, stay blessed.
All right. Thanks, Emmanuel, and thanks to Dimi and all the guys away up for share. Thanks to the ladies them too, where they make sure say then they part of the show and challenge the man them for win. It is what it is. Sport not to man thing. We only do it now. And we said today, Aussie, the Matildas, we beat Spain 3-2. We beat Spain. Australia
Yeah,
woman team beat Spain. So that was a good result for us. I was in the match and it was a fireworks. As if Spain changed the whole tempo second half. We're better we don't
yes.
score 3 goals first half.
3 goals
But it
first
is what
half.
it is. Oh,
But Magdalene, I made for understand. So Australian and they don't game. That's who.
now you'll stop at 2. But thanks to some care, and we play at Man City, Arsenal, and like I say, the standard of a league gets a whole lot for do with the development of a national team. The Australian woman team, they do well pass. I know it's a pass because the man them back there they go World Cup. But when it comes to performance standard, playing quality, the woman team they do well because most of them now England and they play. The Chelsea
Yeah,
Sam Kerr, she was exceptional today in the match. The the, the,
yeah.
the the other players them as well. We coming
The
for
likes of Ford. Yeah,
yeah
Ford we
for
do the header. Yeah,
even the Spanish side. You see say the Spanish side them fantastic because they play good football. And remember, not all the full Spain team come. A lot of them players that they play for the Barcelona side, not make this three, but them play good football. Where them bring some changes them second half, and we can't wait for see the World Cup in June, July, and see how we Australia go lift the trophy. If not, they'll go hand over to England because we get 3 teams at this world. We
oh
get
yeah.
Ethiopia, we got Australia, we get England.
England.
So we can catch small to Oga. Me, I can catch small to Oga them. In
Okay,
Africa, if it's not Sierra
okay.
Leone, I dey catch to Oga them.
Oh yes,
Okay,
oh
Emmanuel,
yes, oh
thanks.
yes.
I'll see you next week and have a
Okay,
blessed
Magda.
night.
All right, you too. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye.